has really been an American story with caused by the parents and the sister to come up here and literally work Capitol Hill until they get a hearing in the United States Senate and legislation introduced. And it's a real testament to them and the fact that our system does work. And I want to thank you for that. And it's my distinct pleasure to introduce to you Mr. Dominic Baragona, who will deliver a personal story regarding his son, Lieutenant Colonel Rocky Baragona of the U.S. Army, and the injustice surrounding the negligence of a company that continues to avoid responsibility. As you know, in 2003, Rocky Baragona was killed while serving our country in Iraq when his Humvee was struck by a supply truck driven by a Kuwaiti contractor. At the time, the company was under contract with the DoD to deliver supplies into Iraq. Near the end of his tour, as he was preparing to return home, Rocky was struck and killed. As the law now stands, U.S. citizens who have family members killed or harmed by foreign contractors working with the U.S. government may not be able to bring those foreign contractors into a U.S. court to win justice for a wrongful death. This barrier to justice for American families is particularly worrisome for many reasons, among them the fact that these contractors are funded by us, the U.S. taxpayer. In the light of this injustice and the perilous position in which it places the families of armed service members and other Americans pursuing our national interests, I draw to your attention Senator McCaskill's bill, as well as our bill that we have introduced, that I have introduced in the House, H.R. 2349, your bill's companion in the House. This legislation requires that all foreign and domestic contractors operating pursuant to a federal contract consent to U.S. federal court jurisdiction over disputes arising out of such contracts, including suits involving injury to American armed service members, government employees, and American citizen contract employees. Under the bill, for existing cases brought on or after September 11, 2001, contractors must consent to federal jurisdiction as a condition of either entering into future contracts or receiving payments under current contracts. The legislation also provides for suspension and debarment of contractors for evading services of process and failure to answer for suits in U.S. federal courts brought in relation to the performance of a federal contract. The Baragona, unfortunately, the Baragona case is by no means an isolated situation where a contractor headquartered abroad has acted in an egregious, fraudulent, or negligent manner. While few stories are as tragic as the Baragona case, there are many instances of impropriety. Such behavior is beyond egregious and must end. It is imperative that our legal system has unfettered reach in order to adjudicate such cases in our courts, rather than allowing these companies to escape liability simply because they are headquartered abroad. My distinguished colleagues, this is about accountability. Foreign companies seeking American contracts paid by our tax dollars should be subject to the jurisdiction of our courts. If these companies seek our business, they can agree to appear in our courts, and it's that simple. Finally, the Baragona family will never completely recover from their tragic loss over 6 years ago. The family may, however, find solace in the knowledge that other families enduring similar circumstances will not face the particular injustices they have been forced to endure since 2003. And again, this family has taken the burdens of many other families here to Capitol Hill to have their voice heard. It's just a wonderful, well-respected family back in Ohio, in Florida as well. And I want to thank you again, and would like to introduce you just a hero in and of himself, along with his wife Vilma and their daughter Pam, speaking on behalf of their son Rocky as well.